Hi guys, I just wanted to pop on here and show you how to use one of our DIY kits. This is our most popular DIY kit. It's our pillow stenciling kit. And I was just working on some custom pillows and I thought since the process is pretty much the same, I can show you how easy it is to use one of our kits. A little bit late, I have to admit, we've already sold several hundred of these, but better late than never. So basically what you'll receive usually in our kit is your own custom stencil, a pillowcase. It could be one like this depending on the design, or one of our big white canvas ones. It all depends on the design. You'll receive a little pot of paint, either one or more. Some type of stencil brush. So you most likely will have one of our dabbers. It's whatever at this point we have on hand, but they work just as well. I'm just going to use one of our regular brushes because it's just easy for me, but you can use any of the ones that we provide you with. Again, you have your custom stencil, paint, and a paintbrush. What you need is most likely a gift card. I have this little handy tool, some paper towels, and some scissors. Also, if you have it available, some tape. But I'll show you how you can use just the tape that comes with your stencil to cover up the edges because you don't want it to overflow. I'm a little nervous doing this live because last time I tried it, I managed to spill paint all over the entire pillowcase. So I'm going to try to be a little more careful this time and not mess it up, because if you know me, you know that I spill things all the time. And yes, excuse my hands, they're covered in paint. I've been painting all day. So basically what you do is you get your stencil. It comes in 3 layers. There's a clear in the front, clear kind of tape material. Then it's your vinyl stencil, and then it's your backing. So what you want to do is, using a credit card, any kind of, or a gift card, any kind of flat surface, you want to just give it a rub. And that is just to help the stencil adhere. So the first thing you're going to remove is the back, so that you can reveal the sticky part of your stencil. And you want to do this gently and slowly because you don't want to lift any of the little bits. And the more involved the stencil is, the slower you really should go. You may want to just get as close down to it as possible and just press it out. So once you've removed the back, you're left with this sticky material. So this is what you want to put onto your pillow. So you want to arrange this the way you want it to be. And I would suggest only doing it once. So kind of try to arrange it and then just put it on and commit. You don't want to try to peel it off. That would likely ruin the stencil. So place it down. And again, with your credit card or gift card or any kind of flat surface, just rub it onto the pillow. Use a little bit of pressure. You want it to really apply on there. So now that you've applied your stencil, the next step will be to peel the tape that's on top. So you want to be really careful with that. This stencil has a lot of little itty-bitty bits, so you don't want them to lift as you peel it back. So I usually start in one end and just gently roll it back. And then if a bit little lifts a little bit, just go back and apply back down. And you want to go as slowly as possible. You can use your card. Just make sure that everything stays down. So this is just an example of one of our location pillows. This is just a custom order for a customer on Etsy. But you can, this process applies to any of our pillow stencil kits. You just want to gently peel it back. And of course, usually I don't do this on live on Facebook. This is the part that you want to be most careful. You don't want to rip the stencil in any way. Here we go. Almost there. This one has the little dots of the degree. Okay, perfect. So now it's applied to your pillow. So usually I usually leave a little bit more around the stencil because I want it to cover as much as possible and prevent errors for you. But what you can do is, if you don't have tape, you can use a pair of scissors, and using this backing material, you can just cut some strips out and apply them to the stencil. And this is just so that when you're stenciling, you don't put paint on your pillow where you don't want it. I'm going to be really careful with the paint this time because last time it was a complete mess. So again, or you can just use some painter's tape. If you're in a pinch, you can use just regular masking tape as well. I did cut this one very close to the letters, so I want to make sure that it's really well covered. Oh, and the part that you don't want to forget is using the back of your stencil. So this is what was the first thing that we peeled. You want to put that inside your pillow, and I usually start with the zipper on the inside. You can just the zipper on the underside, and you want to just put that backing sheet right under your right under the stencil part. So this will prevent the paint from seeping through to the other side. So important steps that I always tend to forget and have to redo my pillows. And this, of course, all comes in the instruction sheet that we provide you with every order. Okay, so now that you've put your stencil on, you have the backing sheet underneath, you're ready to stencil. And for this, you really need very, very little paint. The less paint you use, the better. You can always add more. You can go back and add more paint if you feel that the layer is too light, but you don't want it to seep underneath the stencil. So you want to make sure that you use very little paint. And when I say that is, I am just gonna dip very lightly, and I'm going to offload quite a bit. And then with an up and down motion, I am going to stencil the pillow. And usually in your kits you have multiple colors, and we do provide you with multiple dabbers so that you can go between colors easily. Sometimes you may have to wait for a color to dry before you can continue stenciling. You can use tape to mask off certain parts of the stencil, so then you can ensure that only one color is applied. So definitely we've seen a lot of really creative kids doing our kits. It's kind of interesting. I feel like kids are a lot better at this than adults. So then just continue. You can, don't forget to offload the brush, and you just want to keep going up and down. Just keep it simple. Try not to go too fast over it as well. I'm actually keeping the paint quite far from me because, like I said last time, I spilled it all over the pillowcase in the live. And although it was quite funny, it was a little frustrating. And again, I'm just showing, like, I used barely any paint to complete this. And what we do use, as you know, is Fusion Mineral Paint. which is completely washable. It is acrylic based, which means that it won't come out, but also be careful because it also means it won't come out of your clothes. So when you're creating, just make sure that you're careful. If you do get it on your clothes, quickly run and wash it with soap and water to try to remove as much as possible out of it. Okay, I think I got a pretty solid finish. So now normally you would wait a bit for it to dry, and of course for TV purposes we don't really have that much time, but I'll just show you. So when you wait for it to dry, that would also prevent getting the paint on your fingers and touching your pillowcase, and putting paint where you don't want it to be, which is what I do most often. And then you just want to peel back the stencil, and once the paint is dry, you really don't have to be gentle with it. It's the most satisfying part of doing these pillows, is peeling back your stencils. So I'm just gonna do this partially here, or without. Perfect. So that's how easy it is now. And you do have all those little bits in there, and I would suggest like completely wait until the paint is dry, and you can go in even with your fingernail and remove them, or go back in with a safety pin to just lift those bits, and then just simply stuff your pillowcase. If our kits come with an insert if you purchase it, or as is, maybe you already have a pillow at home that you want to cover. So that's how easy it was. Apply stencil and paint, and that's how we do our kits. So thankfully this time I didn't spill any paint. So we have lots of different kits up on our website. Check them out. We're working on some Father's Day ones as well. I know a lot of you want to create something for dad or grandpa or uncle, so we'll have more for those. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful holiday Monday.